Welcome back to Full Time. Arsenal win 2-1 in Seville, a massive win against Sevilla, who did just stop Real Madrid on the weekend with a 1-1 draw. They've had a bit of a manager bounce. Arsenal crucially needed to get that win, especially after what happened in Lens. They had to respond. 2 home games against Sevilla and Lens now, win both, and we are mathematically through. I think we'll be mathematically through first place. I'm not 100% sure about that. But Turkish, I want to get your reaction to this. Mikel Arteta on Gabriel Jesus says he felt something with his hamstring. Let's see. He straight away asked to be subbed, which is not good news because Gabi is not a player that does that at all. So we have to wait and see in the next few days.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's kind of the only bad moment. Otherwise, a very good night.
Yeah, I mean, the only good I can take from it is it didn't look like a traditional hamstring injury. You know, amidst running or sprinting at full speed.
Yeah, pulling up while,
Yeah, so hopefully it's a twinge. I think we should get past Sheffield United without him. I think it's about making sure he's ready for Newcastle now, which gives him 11 days or so, 12 days. I think that's more than enough time. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, I'd hope so. I mean, it'd be so frustrating. We keep talking about, I said on the watch strong, yes, generally we've been fortunate with injuries, generally. Not so much this season, but last season. But it's just the fact there's always key players. We could never seem to have them fit at the exact same time. I mean, Partey not available again today. But look, there's so much good to talk about. I don't want to dwell on disappointing injury news. Hopefully he's all right. The one thing I'll say is Mikel Arteta has always been such a massive liar to all of us when it comes to injuries. And maybe he's just trying to put it in... I don't know, the heads of Sheffield United management. That Gabi might not be available. Should plan for someone else. For what it's worth, if he's not available, the way Trossard's been playing, I thought it was a really good cameo from him again today, coming on working really hard. I'd get Trossard in the false 9.
Yeah, it'll probably be Havertz though.
Not even Eddie.
Yeah, it'll be Havertz already. Pick your poison.
I prefer Havertz over Eddie.
Yeah, pick your poison. Both will kill you. Just pick which way you want to die. Nah, listen, it's Sheffield United. So whether Havertz plays, Eddie plays, Trossard plays, I expect the team to get the win. So I'm not too fast. I think Trossard is the easy answer for me because he has the most quality by far of the 3 options. But I guess if you're Mikel Arteta and you're looking at Eddie, you know, recently been given a contract, and you look at Havertz, recently been signed, you'd ideally want one of them to... I say one of them. You'd ideally like Havertz to start the game and get a goal or an assist or do something actually worth talking about on Twitter rather than what people talk about now.
Speaking of things going on Twitter, how about this? Or on X. How about this? Speaking of an X, there you go. There's all tying in, right? Mesut Ozil has tweeted.
I saw it.
Harry Maguire and Andre Onana deserve that. Silencing the haters. Random.
Yeah, he's probably bored.
Yeah.
It's one of those tweets, you look at it and you think he's bored tonight.
Yeah.
The new Fortnite's not out or?
Anyway. Fair enough, it's all happening. Hopefully Gabi Jesus is okay. Otherwise, yes, lots to discuss in the build-up to the football this weekend. We're going to take some of your comments as well. Super chat's coming in for Chase. He says, Harry Potter and Mr. How's it going, people? He goes, what do you think of playing Zinni in the 8, Rice DM, and then Tommy Timber in the left back as Zinni is weak defensively? I still think Zinni, when he does his thing coming inside, can be brilliant. He's just not got to that level this season. I loved Rice in the 8 today. Like, for me, I'm just like, Partey, get fit, man. Because we saw against Man City only 2.5 weeks ago how impactful he can be when he comes on and he gets us playing. Free up Rice, be the starting 6. Why is it so difficult for this man to stay fit?
Well, didn't he have anything to say about Partey post-match then?
I'll have a little look.
I thought he would have been asked, but yeah, I want some news on him as well.
Yeah.
To get a better understanding of why he didn't play against Chelsea and why he was in the squad today.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, as you can see here, I need to go right there. That phone. That is what your phone will look like if you download FANZONE on the AFTV Plus app. Download the AFTV Plus app and you'll find FANZONE. Should have said it that way around. Very easy to do. We want to hear your thoughts. We'll go into the calls very, very soon. MC says Sevilla are poor. Do we have Sheffield next? Yes, we do, says Regan. Keep Tommy in for the next match, people, says Philip. I completely agree with you on that. Lucas says, James, do you think the captain changes were tactical time wasting? Oh, could have been. Like, give it to... So who did Ødegaard give it to? Jesus. No, I think he probably is the next in line. I think that probably went the way you'd expect it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
What else have we got? Tomiyasu can play defensive midfield, says Francis. I think he's been inverting very well. A few criticisms to Ødegaard. Look, I don't think he was brilliant, but he kind of did fine. Listen, he was nowhere near his best. Of the front 4, he was definitely the most off it, but kept things moving. And there was another one I saw, a very, very impressive, says Ahmad, talking about the win. Right, we're going to go straight to some callers. Let's not waste any time. As I said, we want to hear your thoughts. Who is joining us first on FANZONE on full-time AFTV? 2-1 win in Seville. I'm still talking. Of course. How are we? Mike from Boston.
I'm not hearing you on the audio, but here goes.
Go for it.
I love watching Tommy being the inverted fullback now. That we always assumed that Tommy was just going to come in as a defender, but he's actually doing what Zinchenko did even better. All the more because when he inverts, he doesn't just play in a playmaking role in the midfield, he's actually going forward. It's like he's become our Xhaka. Second thing, I really want Ben White to rethink that hair dye. I think it ruins his hard man image if he runs around looking like Ken in the Barbie movie, okay? And finally, inglorious league, shall we upon the footing of our land accept a base truce? Let at least be said, they saw we had a purpose of defense. Come on, you Gunners.
Oh, nice, short and sweet from Mike. Always a pleasure. Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay, good. Okay, good. Oh,
Okay.
so I might as well throw one other question at you. Gabi Jesus, do you think listen, we hope his injury's okay. Did he, I don't know, make the doubters eat their words a little bit?
Absolutely. That's the kind of goal that we saw from him at the beginning of last season. I do think we should realize that he was the one that got muscled out on their goal.
Yes, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Right. I mean, I don't really blame him for that, but that's what happens when you put a small forward on a big attacker on a corner. But in any event, that was what we bought Jesus to do, that second goal.
Yeah, completely agree. What about Rice? Because we're trying to understand and form his position. Actually, I want your take on this as well, Turkish. I thought he looked so good as an 8 today because he kept driving us up the pitch, especially when it opened up. He was one who had the legs to really just attack that space and get Arsenal looking like they're going to do something going the other way. But he is brilliant defensively. I can't deny that. When he has played as a 6, he's been fantastic. He's just such a complete player. Like, where is his this season future, but also his long-term future? I know, Turkish, if you want to come in quickly on that.
I think for me, from what I've seen of Rice so far for Arsenal, from what I know and seen of him at West Ham, I actually think the perfect position for Rice is a double pivot and being box to box from that position, because I don't think he's got the quality that Partey has to be able to perform the 6 efficiently enough, and I don't think he's got the technical ability in the final third to be able to perform the 8 as efficiently as I'd like it enough. So for me, it'd be a double pivot CM box to box.
Yeah, fair enough, Mike.
But we're not a double pivot team, so if I had to pick out of the 2, I'd still say long term is probably going to be the 6.
Yeah, I think I lean on that, but this year I really want him as the 8 if Partey can stay fit. Your thoughts, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, he made a lot of good recovery tackles. We saw him a lot down on our own goal line, picking up the ball and taking it out to the corner. But that doesn't mean that he's a 6. That just means that he's like a box-to-box guy who takes the defensive box seriously.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I love about him. Yeah.
The thing about Xhaka that was so good, he did everything, like even when he was getting forward. Mike, always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Good. Talk to you later, guys.
Nice
Bye.
one,
Let's take our next caller. The Unifier says Rice is a 6 defensive midfielder. He says, we'd love to get your thoughts. Maybe we get a poll going if we can. Is he an 8 or is he a 6? He's our next caller. Hey, Raya, how you doing?
Yes, big up, James. Big up, Turkish.
Me saying, bro.
Yeah, good performance tonight. I'm a lot more satisfied compared to the Chelsea game on Saturday. I think the back 4 defensively were a lot organised, and we nullified Sevilla to a lot of that minimal opportunities when they created their chances. But I'd say Gabriel Jesus for me was unplayable at times. Like Martinelli for me, when there's spacing behind and we're playing away at these big European grounds, he really flourishes the most out of that front three for me. And I'm a bit disappointed with Odegaard's performance tonight. Me personally, I think Arteta needs to look at that. I'd like to see Fabio Vieira or Smith Rowe get a run of games just to freshen and tweaking things up a little bit in that area. But maybe for me, I think Odegaard relies on Partey a lot when we're playing, because Partey frees up Rice and then Odegaard can play in the 10, which he can then literally strut about and create and do stuff for like Jesus and our front line. But overall, I'm quite happy with the performance. Tomiyasu, I thought was like exceptional today, man. You know what? It's funny. From the back end of last season, when Tini wasn't playing any games and Zinchenko was starting most of the games, I think Arteta sat him down and literally made him watch the way our Zinchenko plays. And even when Tini was with us last season, it's like they're all learning that inverted role. At times, I do think it can be a bit overrated, but the inverted role on that left-hand side, when we have our left-back, it's like you can tell that Arteta wants that left-back to join up with the rest of our team and create from that side to open up space for Martinelli. But
yeah, can I jump on that point? So Jordan Forever Arsenal said this was a game for an inverted fullback. Now he was calling for Zinni to start, but his kind of general point around tactically how we should approach this was spot on, because I felt we were getting constant overloads, and I thought what was so clever was there were moments, part of it was I was just struggling to see the screen. No wonder I had a load of comments saying put my glasses back on, but there were moments where I was going, is that Martinelli, is that Rice, or is that Tomiyasu? Whether it would be in the pockets or it was deep on the touchline to receive the ball, whether it was alongside Jorginho, constant rotations. And if you're Sevilla, that's so difficult to mark because you don't know who to follow. I hate to say it because they're our rivals, but Postecoglou and Tottenham have been doing that really well. Para and Udogi, they're really good. They don't just invert to tuck in next to the six. They get really high up the pitch, and Tomiyasu's making a lot of like second man runs. There was one point where he pressed, and I thought, is that Tomiyasu? He's like in the striker's second striker position. But when you've got a Rice who's played as a centre back, who's played as a defensive midfielder, who's played as a box to box, he'll happily cover that space. So it was really, really good, and I think he used his athleticism really well, Tommy, to get into all those areas. But also, he's a really intelligent player. Zinni is too, but Zinni hasn't got to the level Tomiyasu did today so far this season.
Tommy's a bit more robust as well.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
he can handle a bit of physical altercation. Very, very true.
I think, to be honest, with Declan Rice as well, I was watching him tonight, and I think I'm so glad we signed him, man. What a signing! But I think he's better, and I see him as a long-term number 6 for Partey. But the box-to-box, I was hearing of what you were saying on it, Turkish. That 8 role and him doing box-to-box, I agree to a T what you said. I don't think he's creative and technical enough to do that 8 role efficiently, but then I don't think he has what Partey has doing that 6 and protecting the back 4. Partey, for me, we're missing him so much. It's so annoying that we can't get out our strongest 11 right now in most of the games that we've played. And I think when eventually we will see Partey, Rice and Odegaard, but when Partey plays alongside Rice, Partey does certain things on the ball that he can manipulate it better than what Rice does, and then there's certain things that Rice does, like ball recoveries and stuff, like his work rate today. I think on the right, Navas, I think with Sevilla had a moment, I think they had a 20-minute spell between the 55th and the 75th minute where they were constantly going down that right-hand side, and Declan Rice was just basically shadowing and just protecting the back 4, helping out Gabriel when he was going forward, because we were getting caught on transitions a few times tonight, but I think we were so strong tonight that it's like Seville they created a bit without really creating much, if that makes sense.
Like, they had their moments, which I always expected, but we weathered it all really well and we largely limited them.
Just a quick question before you go on to our call, bro. Jesus, do you think that I'm hoping it's not a serious hamstring injury, but it didn't look like a normal hamstring pull of what you would see with certain players. Do you not think that's going to be a serious blow?
No. So if I can come in, I think he did feel something, and even when it's a muscle, when it's a bit of pain on the ankle, you can shake that off. You can even play through that. When it's a muscle, you don't mess with it. So My prediction is he's probably fine. If we were playing a Champions League final on the weekend, I always use this kind of analogy. If we were playing a cup final on the weekend, I think he'd find a way to be available. But I think they'll assess and decide. We don't listen. We all due respect Sheffield United, right? We should be able to beat them. We got Trossard and Nketiah and Havertz to call on. Trossard's the one I want to see. I think and I don't think Jesus was ever going to play the West Ham game next week just because of his injuries in the past. And I think he'll think he's got other options he can call on there, Arteta. So to sum up, probably fine. I think we'll be available for Newcastle next week, but I don't think he'll play the next two. That's my opinion.
When you look at our next fixtures leading up to next international break, Newcastle is the only one we really need him for, or we really should need him for. Aside from that, West Ham, Carabao Cup, I expect rotation anyway. Burnley and Sheffield United at home, I'd expect to beat them without Jesus. So the reality is, as long as he's there for Newcastle, that's all I'm worried about. And if he's not, it's not the end of the world because we should still win the games around.
We should still have enough quality to beat Newcastle, even without Jesus, even though you want him.
I don't know about that because they've got such a robust defence. I think we really need Jesus to do what he did today. Take two players out of the game, spin, and create openings. So I respectfully disagree. I think we really need to... Listen, can we beat them without... Yeah, we can, but, but
my
still.
point on that, though, is that Newcastle struggle... They got Dan Burn, and I can't remember their other centre-back, but they struggle with having a false number 9, and it's like some defenders prefer when you have a target man to hold up and to mark up against, whereas if we play with a front three against Saka, Jesus and Trossard, I know that's in a couple of weeks' time, but I think we can still cause them problems. But I do hear you. I think that's the one game where, for me, I feel we need Jesus in, but I'm hoping he's fit, but because hamstrings normally 10 to 12 days at most, so we just got to see how that goes. But
fair enough. Right, always a pleasure chatting, man. Thanks for supporting the channel and AFTV Plus on FANZONE as well. Thanks, man. Catch you in a bit.
Love, bro.
Some good points made there. Let's go through some super chats. We've got Aaron says, how much are you guys willing to rotate for Sheffield? I would go strong. I'd rather go strong against Sheffield and rotate against West Ham. Much happier with tonight.
I'd agree with that. The Sheffield United game is a lot more important than the West Ham game.
I agree. I think the answer is that we should be able to do a little bit of... We should be able to field strong sides for both whilst using up to 16, 17 players. It's kind of the way I see it.
Yeah, look, let's be frank. Odegaard hasn't been great in the last couple of games. I wouldn't be against a Vieira starting in his place for one game. Maybe Sheffield United just to take him out and give him fresh legs for the Newcastle game. That doesn't mean that I think that we've weakened our side. I think we've got enough quality in the squad to be able to rotate here and there without really affecting the strength of the side.
Yeah, I think if you went for something like, okay, Raya's going to keep his place, you obviously know that. White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, say it's the same midfield, say it's the exact same team actually, with maybe Eddie, because he tends to favour Eddie when Jesus is unavailable. Come the game on Wednesday night, I'd still, Ramsdale in there. I see no reason why White can't keep his place. I still think you go Gabriel, Saliba, Kivior, Zinchenko. That's a back four I'm happy with. I think you still go maybe El Neni, Rice back at West Ham. Why not? Play so many games, and Vieira. I think you can still go strong in that. Now you can go Trossard, Nketiah, Nelson, maybe something like that, or Martinelli, Trossard, and Nketiah. So I still think you can go strong without it being wholesale changes. I just don't want to throw away, but that's more often than not shown in our application in the game more than it is the personnel out there. That's so true. We'll see. Good super chat. I appreciate that, Aaron. Ash says 7 points from City, Chelsea away, Sevilla away, and we're in a crisis. What a time to be alive. We're a bloody good team. We will get better. It's a fair point made. We talk about how we're not near our best. I think everyone agrees with that. Yet, like you said on Big Six, the results are, we're doing the business there, but we still know we've got levels to come. The question is how sustainable it is, to not play at our best and kind of keep getting results. But we're showing a resilience that I think is sustainable.
Yeah, long gone are the days of crisis talks.
Yeah.
We're nowhere near a crisis.
I agree.
if you hear fans upset or hear me upset after a game, it's probably because the game didn't go the way I would have liked, and that means no 3 points. And what can you do?
People forget that when a game doesn't go or a performance doesn't go the way we want and we're disappointed, it's because we are just reacting to that performance.
Yeah, and I've had a new one this season. I'm starting to get, you shouldn't predict. You shouldn't be so confident if you're going to be affected like this after the game. And I'm just thinking, so you don't want me to think we're going to win now?
Yeah.
I don't understand what people want.
And you don't want me to be affected when we don't do badly.
Yes,
But that's what it's like. Pete Kenny says, Odegaard performance has dropped due to the absence of Partey. You know where I am with this, Pete? I actually think you're right. But what worries me is that I don't want to be a team where we go, well, we lack fluidity when Zinchenko's not in the team. Zinchenko comes back in. Yeah, but it's because Jesus isn't leading the line. Then he leads the line. Yeah, but Partey's the one that makes it happen. Well, we just signed a £105 million number 6. They don't want there to always be a one player reason why certain other players. Now, if Odegaard struggles and it's our second choice right winger, our second choice right back, our second choice DM, and our third choice, I don't know, striker, then I'm going, yeah, okay, he's struggling to get the rhythms and whatever. But one player missing when there's Jorginho was good today. He was fine. Picked up a yellow, but cool, that was it. He did good. Like that should Odegaard have struggled today because Rice didn't struggle playing alongside Jorginho. So I hear what you're saying, Pete, but I don't want to make too many excuses for him. But listen, Odegaard gives you a base level work rate that I'll always appreciate, even in a game where he's not at his best.
Yeah.
So it's, JC says, he's quoting Stricto, Kai is just a librarian with a basket on his back.
Stricto flipped.
Stricto did flip. On Havertz quickly, before we just take our next callers. My issue with Kai Havertz, and I hope people notice on the watch, I'm not sitting there and go, oh, he's, or he's there. I'm not losing my head over it. I'm just observing the way he's playing football, trying to get an understand for why I'm struggling to get him. And there is a lack of conviction in his play. I've used that word a lot, conviction with Kai Havertz. There's a lack of zip about his passing. There's a lack of intensity. There's a lack of conviction. There's a lack of I don't think he believes in what he's doing in that moment. So how can I believe? And so I'm just commenting on it live when I see it. I still believe, only because I trust Mikel Arteta so much, I still believe he is going to come good and I'm going to understand at some point. He made me believe in Granit Xhaka in a way I didn't ever think I'd believe in him. So I still believe he'll make it work, Arteta, and Havertz will come good and make it right. But I don't think we're actually doing the situation many favours by going, he won some headers against Chelsea, what a cameo. And today, he came on and he did fine. He didn't do fine. A bunch of underhit passes. I didn't see him make a tackle. Come on, there's got to be a certain level that we need him to get up to, and I think he will. Against City, I'm happy to say, yeah, he actually came on and did his thing. I saw him running the channels, holding the ball up, bringing players into play. That I did think was a good cameo. So we just got to be level. Community Shield up front, I thought he did well, and I said he did well in that performance. But I don't think we should be trying too hard to always be lifting him up. As a fan base, we should be supporting him. But I don't think we have to lie about how his performances were. I mean, not everyone's lying. Some people just have different opinions, which I respect, but I'm not there.
No, they're lying. They're lying. I mean, if you think Havertz has done good things, I guess the assist from Martinelli might be classed as good. But if you think Havertz has done anything close to being enough since coming in the club, you're lying. That's it. That's full stop. I don't care whatever spin it needs to be put on it. You'd be lying.
Oh yeah, let's put it this way. I don't agree with the sort of overpraising of certain performances. I think he's done some I saw that Community Shield game. I don't care what anyone says about the Community Shield. They went full strength City, and he had a job to do against Stones and Diaz. I believe they started those games centre back. He did really well in that game. He was holding the ball up, bringing people to play. I like that. I think he's long term a striker because I'm not seeing enough in midfield in terms of passing conviction and looking like he could take control of the game, or at least make a moment of magic happen to make me think, yeah, he's going to be the future of our midfield. Up front, though, that slightly more languid style, I can kind of forgive, especially when our striker isn't expected to be a goal scorer. I prefer Jesus' hustling, bustling, twisting everything.
Yeah.
But Havertz, could I see him, playing a more kind of nonchalant, play off me 1-2s, I win my headers, I get on the end of chances role? Yeah, fine, maybe at his best. I think he could do a job there.
You have to be honest.
No. Let's get our next caller.
Good answer.
Let's get our next caller.
Hello.
Oh, hello. I know you.
Yes, you do. Hello, Turkish. Hello, James.
You all right?
How was it, Julian?
Perfect. Yeah, no, it's been a fabulous couple of days. The atmosphere in the stadium was brilliant, and the big bonus was that we didn't have to sit in a cage.
I mean, talk us through the performance. How did it look live on the eye? Because we thought Arsenal, you could argue, had their best first hour of any game they've had this season, just in terms of the pace, the intensity. How did it look there?
Well, I think the difference that I've seen in this Champions League competition was that the only game that we were efficient in front of goal was PSV. So today we should have put two goals together, and we missed some open chances, and then we didn't struggle. We managed to get 2 goals, and then we let them back in it, and then I think we struggled.
Struggled or showed a maturity, because there's a fine line between under pressure and you know, basically hobbling over the line, and there's another thing going, all right, look, we've got the goal lead, let's just be sensible, defend our penalty box. I mean, look, Raya had a moment with the punch which didn't look great, but other than that, you know, I don't think they did that much.
No, but when you're at the game and balls are coming into the box more and more often, you're more on the edge of the seat at the game.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're watching it on TV, because
we can't hear the crowd getting up.
It's different.
Yeah.
So that has a part to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a massive part, Turkish, in how I perceived what I was watching, because I got very, very nervous as the game went on, and as soon as they got that goal, it became very, very tense in that stadium. And what I saw from Arteta is that he did something slightly different in that he conceded possession, and then they just sat on their area and let them come onto us.
Yeah.
Which then added to the crowd's nervousness as well.
Who looked the most impressive player to you in the ground?
For me, I would say it was for one moment is Jesus, because he did something that I just couldn't get my head around how he did it, and that's how he set up the Martinelli goal. You know, there's a few times in my life that I've seen players do something that I just can't work out. And the one that was Canu years ago when I can't even describe it. The other one was Bergkamp against Newcastle, and then there was tonight. It was like they brought it down, and in one movement, he just put it through to Martinelli. And it might be that when I look it back, I'll understand it, and it won't look as impressive.
You will.
But then what I saw live, just can't get my head around. My head's spinning still.
We'll go enjoy, Julian. You got a fantastic night in Seville to enjoy. Look, thanks for calling. But for what it's worth, Tomiyasu looked excellent on our screens. Tomiyasu, Rice as well. Agreed on Jesus, but yeah, they were fantastic as well.
Lovely.
Yeah, always a pleasure, mate. Call in soon.
All right.
Go enjoy.
No, don't call in. You've done a fan cam. You're all right, man. Go.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Bye.
See you later.
He's on his way before he's even put the
He
phone
went from
down.
talking to Cessa on a fan cam to talking to us. Go and enjoy yourself, Julian, man. Go find lead judges in Cecil.
He does crack me up the way he just goes, for me, the best was Jesus.
The way he
It's
said
just
it as well, Jesus. That bro, he didn't put no culture on the name, no nothing, just Jesus.
Gabriel, Jesus. Man of the match. All right, next caller. Let's get into Hey, how you doing? Thanks for calling back, man. What was your name again? You did tell us the other day. Apologies.
Steve.
Steve, great to chat again, mate.
Yeah, how are you guys?
Oh, good, Steve.
Very happy.
Yeah, same, 100%. Predicted a win. I'm happy. I want to mention one guy, and it's the obvious, right? I thought today Declan Rice was just class. I mean, flat out class.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can disagree with that. But I just wanted to start off with that because, man, 100 mil, 105, whatever the add-ons are, who cares? That guy can play.
Yeah, it's very rare a player comes in for that price tag with that much commotion around the signing as well. The fee it took, the negotiation, the back and forth, the fact that City came in. At one point, other clubs were looking at him, Bayern Munich as well. And he arrives, and then you go, we should pay double. like he's walked into this Arsenal team, and been brilliant. And look, he's quite unique, isn't he? Because he's not like, I still don't think on the ball he dictates play the way Partey does as the 6, if that's fair. No. I don't think he has been a box crasher like Granit Xhaka was last season. I think he's kind of learning both roles. But he's such a complete midfielder today. He was driving into the box. He was driving back to make tackles. He was constantly defending and helping Tomiyasu in that space. When space was there, he'd run with the ball. He had a really nice way to pass on him every single time, winning headers. I mean, what can't this guy do?
Yeah, he doesn't stop running, man. I'm watching the game. It's 90-plus minutes. This guy's still going. And then I look at Eddie, and Eddie's jogging after he came in, 10 minutes prior. And I'm just like, wow, the levels between these two. I thought Tommy played well. Defensively, I feel a lot better when he plays over Zinchenko, right? And if he's going to move forward the way he's been doing, I'm all for it. I just feel a lot more stable with him in the back.
Yeah.
It gets really shaky with Zinchenko. But, just overall, I thought the performance, we weren't really never in trouble, I would say. But towards the end, it got a little crazy. But,
we had to hold on. We had to weather a storm. And I think a 2-2 would have been really harsh on the players. I can't even get too mad at the defensive tactics to try and see it out. I think at that point, we'd kind of used up our counter-attacks. We weren't looking like we were going to hurt them that much in the final 10. So I don't mind. There's a comment from Jay Sonson says, I'm done eating pasta since Declan joined us. Took me a second. But he's having a real impression on everyone. It's very it's easy to buy into the Declan Rice hype. Where's his future position for you? Is he a 6? Is he an 8? Is he what Turkish said, basically a central midfielder in a two-man pivot where he does a bit of everything?
I like that. I like that. I like the latter. I just feel like everything is so much in control with that guy. And I feel like I say myself, speak for myself. At times, I want him to push up because I want, for better or for worse, we're missing that Granite player, right? Havertz, he's not doing that. And we're missing, I think that's the missing link. Once Partey comes back, we say we want to see those three, and I want to see him as well. But, will it flourish the way it flourished last year? Only time's going to tell. But you put him in that pivot, I just don't know who will eventually, because I think at some point we're going to have to fill that Granite role. I know we spent 65 on Kai, and ideally probably Arteta wants that to be the guy, but I don't know, man. I don't see it. And I don't think it's any surprise or any shock, right? No one really sees, and I'm not here to bash Kai. I think I haven't seen enough of him, but I've seen enough to say I'm not really sure what he does great. I get goes in he fills those voids, wins headers, but was that really, really what we were looking for when we signed him, right? I don't think that was the actual plan, and it's kind of what we've got now. So we're trying to fill that void, and we truly, truly don't have anyone for that. Now, the next Premier...
Yeah, go on. I'll let you finish your point.
I was just going to mention, because the next couple Premier League games we have, right? The Newcastle one's the one that pops out. But our next game, I would love to see Vieira start. I think at this point, Odegaard again today, I mean, he wasn't crap. He wasn't great. He was there. That's kind of my view of how Odegaard was today. So I don't know. Maybe give him a rest for a game, right? And we play Sheffield United, I believe. You can't tell me that we can't beat them with Vieira starting, right? Or even if at the end of the game, last 15 minutes or so, we needed Odegaard, you bring him in for last hurrah. But I would like to have him ready for that Newcastle game.
Yeah. Yep, agreed. Quick question. Confident we'll go through now?
Oh, 100%. I never doubted.
Fair enough. 2 home games to go. This result's definitely made it easier. Always a pleasure, Steve. Thanks for calling, mate.
Steve.
Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys.
It's definitely looking good on the qualifying front. I mean, two home games to go. One of them against the team that are... I mean, actually, let's remind ourselves of the group quickly.
What are you reminding yourself of?
Everyone's points. Do you know them?
We're on 6, Lons on 5, PSV 2, Sevilla 2, I believe.
Spot on. So 4 points clear of 3rd and 4th. So yeah, I mean, listen, it is looking good. Cool, let's take our next call. I'll let you take this one.
Hello.
I don't understand why production are wasting our time. These guys are in Sevilla. We're in Finsbury Park. It's coming up to midnight, and you want me to talk to Julian and Lee Judges? Well, I'm gonna talk to Lee tomorrow on Forever Arsenal, and you got me here trying to talk to him. Lock him off and bring the next caller on, man.
What were you going to put a table up? I was looking forward to it, Turkey.
Well, you're moving like Tottenham. What, is the season over? Oh, Tottenham Judges. Okay, new name.
Tottenham Judges. That's outrageous. Did you have a great time out there, mate?
It's been a fantastic couple of days. Fantastic. And what a performance today, guys. I have to say, unbelievable night. I hear a few little negatives coming out from a few people, but Declan Rice today, outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And Tommy Asu, what a performance from the back. And Gabriel, I think, was superb as well. And the front three, I didn't think Saka was quite at it, but the other two were magnificent.
What about Ramsdale?
He got a song at the end.
Of course he did. You probably started it.
No.
I have to say,
if I'm Raya, after that cross today, I want to copy his lottery numbers, but he got away with one.
He keeps having a few. There were 2 in the first half, then there was a punch at the end, Raya, where he's having moments where you're like, oh my word, you're getting away with these, but wow, you're running it thin. But he also had, in fairness, he had some good moments as well. Some of his passing was good. He was claiming crosses. Like, he had, as much as he had bad moments, he had some good moments. And Arteta's just going to persist with him. This is number 1 now. He's made that clear.
Clear as daylight now after the decision day, because I think in the last few games, if he was going to change, it would have been tonight, but he didn't. And I'm with you on James. He wasn't bad. He wasn't great though.
No,
at the end of the day, we've got the result. And if that would have gone in at the end, I think you had that. I think you had 2-2 down, didn't you? I would have been going mad.
I would have been flipping as well. I would have forget the prediction.
I would have been going mad. But he got away with it. I've always said, Mikel is a very lucky man. Whatever he does, and I think he done very well with the Tommy Asu. I thought Tommy Asu was very close to Declan Rice today. I thought he was brilliant.
But that was an inspired decision to go for Tommy Asu at left back over Zinni. Because he could have persisted with the Zinni thing. If you want to find fluidity and all that, we know Zinni was a big part of that last year. Tommy Asu we were just saying, he was popping up in all sorts of positions, Lee.
Yeah, I think in the first 10 minutes he was like the furthest forward. I thought like he was going to.
I remember that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was going to stay as a back 4.
Yeah.
But I thought that all of them at the back 4 today played really well. Ben White was back to his best today. Saliba was solid as usual. Gabriel and Tommy Asu. I thought that we done really well. Good protection for the goalkeeper. And I don't know what's happened with Thomas Partey. I understand he didn't travel, he was injured, but we've got to address that now. I think he can't keep getting injured. But Declan Rice, we're not missing him because of that performance. How good was he today, guys? I don't know what you're making it on TV. But
He was
watching him
unbelievable.
live today, I thought he was unbelievable.
Yeah, and in that number 8 role, which makes me want Partey back more, because I'm starting to see that Arteta thinks there maybe is space for both of them in the team, but Partey can't bloody stay fit.
No.
But Jorginho, I thought, did well today as well.
Done okay. You know, kept the ball ticking.
That's what he does.
And you know, I don't think anybody played bad today. That was the good thing. You know, like you could say against Chelsea, 5-6 weren't playing well. Everybody played well tonight, and I'll tell you what, they had to. Like the stadium was rocking before the game. I actually turned down to Julian and said, "This is going to be a tough night again." But I don't know what the atmosphere come like over there, but they was pretty much up for it. But I thought first 20 minutes, I thought we was really, really good in that first 20 minutes.
Yeah,
you know, maybe I'm watching it.
No, we thought so too. We thought so too.
Yeah, I thought that we controlled the game. Probably should have been definitely one, maybe 2-0 up. I think Martinelli. That was great what Martinelli done, by the way, guys. He missed that first one. Second one, he said, "I'm taking you on." Went round him. Quality, right on half time.
Yeah.
So good time to score, and we get 2-0 up. And I honestly think then 3 or 4. I thought we was that good. And then I don't know what happened with the goal. You know what I mean? The set piece, and 5 minutes, 10 minutes after that, it looked a bit nervy. But I thought we see it out really well as well, guys. I thought we defended well, and listen, I think it was a fantastic European performance. And do you know what? We haven't had a performance like that in Europe for a very long while. And then in the Europa League as well. It was a good performance, so I'm buzzing about that tonight.
Go enjoy it, Lee. Go have a great time in Seville.
And just to let you know, stop raining.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. We were really worried about
you. Boys.
Nice.
See you tomorrow night. And I can't wait, Turkish.
I'm bored now. Next caller.
Holy judges. Someone said, how's Chinchenko in the comments? The thing is, the angle he had, I saw more chin than anything else. But fair enough. Good to hear from Lee and Julian, who have all decided clearly to F off Cecil and actually jump on the show and chat to us. While Cecil's probably standing out there with the mic, trying to get everyone's thoughts and feelings. Got our final callers. Let's get our next one in. Make sure to hit the like button. Hey, how you doing?
All right, can you guys hear me?
Can hear you perfectly clearly. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. It's good to see you smiling, man.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, listen, a really good win. It eases the pressure going into the next 3 Champions League games. 2 of them now away from home done. We've got ourselves in a really good position.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what you guys' thoughts are in terms of sort of our Champions League going back into the season, but I was a bit concerned in terms of we've been out of it for so long. And the levels are different from the Europa League. And we had to take baby steps coming back into it, but we have to learn quickly.
Yeah.
And I think the main thing was getting points away from home. And our 2 better performances this season, no surprise, have been in the Champions League, the PSG game, and obviously tonight with a different kind of performance. But I think what we did well tonight, more than anything else, is we defended our own box very, very, very well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I thought we were... I actually really like the mentality of the Arsenal team to go to Sevilla, where it could have been hostile and difficult, and they've just beaten Real Madrid, so they're clearly shown a stubbornness to their play. And actually Arsenal missed the big chance, but they showed the mentality to keep going, fashion another. Then they got the second, then they kept creating them. It wasn't really till a goal out of nowhere. I mean, we were having a laugh and telling stories when the goal goes in for Sevilla, and it's like, okay, let's all switch on. This has just got a bit tense. But Arsenal then responded to that and showed a real resilience.
Yeah, it did. And that's the thing. In the Champions League, there's no mug strings in Turkish. We know this, even the fact that we've been at it for so long. And you look at the second half, it's a perfect example. We get the goal before half time, perfect time, people quite quiet. Start the second half really, really well. Fantastic goal by the way from Jesus. And they get a goal from a set piece. And the crowd gets something. It's a different kind of game. And Arsenal have to defend a bit more resolutely. And you know what? It's a really gutsy, you know, good win in the Champions League game, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah. I was just looking at the table again. Lons, of course, are undefeated. I mean, they've played. I guess they have played 2 home games, but they must have played away at Sevilla, drawn, beaten Arsenal, and then drawn at home to PSV. So, yeah, Lons are making a real fist of it. Sevilla, PSV will be fighting hard. What do you think? I mean, do you think we're sort of one more win away from it not being sealed, but just looking very good, very, very good for us? Are you really confident we're going through? You know, how important is it to get these wins, get this next win and just get it done early, come before this PSV game in early December, I think it is, and secure first place? Because ideally we want that wrapped up so we can start focusing more on the Premier League and not worrying so much on this side of things as well.
Yeah, so it's a great question, and it's a very, very salient point, because we do want to wrap it up early, and you know, we've had issues around squad in terms of maybe we talk about the quality and the depth, and you want to sort of bring up guys with half an hour to go, 20 minutes to go. But the key thing for me in the campaign was we get the points away from home, because I was confident enough with the group that we're in that we would win the whole game.
Yeah, you know, it was just popped up on my screen as I was listening to your answers. Declan Rice driving through the heart of midfield. He was unreal today, wasn't he?
Yeah, Declan Rice. See this guy. It's crazy. I've spoken about it before that. I think when we had the links with me that he was going to come to Arsenal potentially, I didn't really believe it, to be honest. But the more legs it grew, and I think the key thing with Declan Rice is that this is not a guy that we didn't know about and who's playing in the Bundesliga or Liga and who's not unearthed talent. We've seen this guy in the Premier League for 2, 3, 4 years now. Mm-hmm. And I think the point where I was sold him as a player, not necessarily him coming to Arsenal, when in the World Cup, he was superb in that quarter-final. And James, no coincidence from a statistical point of view in terms of interceptions and ball carries in the top 2 last season.
Yeah.
And that's in the West Ham side.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're spot on, and we saw a lot of that today. Always a pleasure chatting to you, man. Thanks so much for calling.
Love Albert.
Catch you in a bit, Albert. Right, who's our final caller? Hey, how you doing?
Hi, you guys. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you again. How you been, mate?
What are you saying, bro?
Yeah, good. Very well. Happy this morning. It's I don't know what you guys think, but I think it was a really good watch today. I know because I've understood the fluidity conversation this season. I have understood it, but personally, I haven't, I guess, been too concerned. We've been getting good enough results still. I guess we're still unbeaten in the league, and we sit in a nice position in the group. But I actually felt, considering it's an away performance at a difficult place, I wanted to get Turkish's view on this as well, because I know you've been speaking about fluidity this season. But I felt up until the point in the game where Sevilla's scored, I feel like we saw sprinkles of that today. I think we saw some nice stuff, especially with Gabriel Jesus in there up front and having Martinelli back as well. So I wanted to get your view on that, whether you saw a bit of something today maybe that we haven't seen. I thought it was just an enjoyable watch.
Yeah, I mean, it was the most fluid we've been all season. I think that goes without saying. Is it an indication moving forward that we are releasing the handbrake a little? I'm yet to know that until I see how we perform against Sheffield United, where really the objective is to smoke them.
Yeah, I think if I'm to jump in on that answer, is that I thought Arsenal today looked the most like they knew what they wanted to do with the ball once they got it. Now, sometimes not playing fluid football is you've not let the handbrake off, and we start asking whether it's intentional through Mikel Arteta and all that. The other part of it is when that ball goes into Jorginho, does he one pass it straight off to the next, or does he take a touch at the bottom of his foot, roll it into his path, and then try and pick someone out and look a little bit more clever, a little bit more calculated? You can always tell when a player's looking too calculated in possession, trying to do too much. Sometimes it's part of the plan. Brighton notoriously put their foot on the ball to try and attract a press. Arsenal, last season, they just played their football. They just popped it off and they just walked through teams. This season, we haven't seen as much of that. Today, though, I saw every time a player got the ball, there was someone around them that they just immediately, give it, and then they get it, and then they give it, and then they get it, and then they give it. And it felt like a team that had found cohesion. And it's not that we haven't had any of that this season. it's that for whatever reason, no one has looked like they really wanted to commit to helping their teammates in attack. And today, I think we saw a lot more of that. Like, Martinelli was attacking that space because he really trusted Jesus to make that work for him, and he did. And that's what I love to see.
See, I agree with that. And I think also, I agree with the sentiment that Sheffield United is a game we have to attack, and we have to try and start seeing 3-4 goals being put past these teams. But I think that's something that we've had to adjust to. Last season, I think the fluidity came with it, the situation as well. We had the same starting 11 week in, week out. And I think if you fast forward now to the Sheffield United game on the weekend, you're more likely maybe to see Zinchenko come back in at left back. He might even try put Havertz back in midfield. So I think there's a need to adjust game to game in the sense that it's not the same starting 11, and we're going to put in slightly different performances week to week. But I guess it's about having it all come together. I just wanted to say as well on David Raya, look, I know he's got a lot of stick, but for what it's worth, I'm actually really happy for him that we didn't concede the goal at the end there, because I think a part of me feels that if that goes in behind him, he's got a bit of a long road back. And I really do want him to start against Sheffield United, because I just want him to have 90 minutes where there isn't a moment, where there isn't something, a talking point, let's say. Because I actually think today, I mean, one time I can think Saliba's knocked the ball back to him, I think, and he's been pressed from like 3 angles. And I'm thinking, if he takes a touch, he's in trouble here. I don't know if you guys remember it. And he's kind of clipped the ball first time out to Tomiyasu. And a part of me is looking at it going, I can see bits and pieces, I can see what Mikel sees in him.
Yeah, well, hold on. Let's also remind ourselves, Everton away, Bournemouth away, and PSV at home, and the North London derby, where some people said he made errors in the North London. I don't really blame him for any of the goals. Yeah, he could have tipped it over for the first, but I don't really blame him for any of that. I thought, and he made a big save in the North London derby. I think you could say his first 4 games were fine/good. Like, I was impressed with him against Everton and Bournemouth, the way he commanded his area, dealt with crosses in. PSV, his passing and his long-range passing to Havertz was, I thought, really, really good. Now, there was loads I enjoyed about Raya's first 4 games. The thing is, the last 3, City, Chelsea, and Sevilla tonight, in particular Chelsea in the first half against City, there were loads of shaky moments. So he can shake this off and very quickly get himself like a first 10 games, of which 7 of them were impressive, but he kind of needs to do that because it's not been.
You can add Lons and
I forgot about Lons. Okay, so it's like 4 and 4
and Tottenham.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about Tottenham. I didn't really blame him for that first goal.
I don't blame him because he made the save, but I mean the 4 games you mentioned that he begun his Arsenal career with, he wasn't posed any questions on the defensive side of the goalkeeping job.
True.
As soon as he starts getting asked the questions on the defensive side of it,
you mean the shot stopping and the sort of basic goalkeeping stuff? Yeah,
that's when we're starting to see concerns or problems.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, quick score prediction for the weekend.
Score prediction. I want us to put goals. I want us to put goals in on the weekend.
Sure.
So I'm gonna be a bit optimistic and say 3-0. And just before I go, I just want to say love for what you guys do specifically. Like for me, the Forever Arsenal podcast and the Big Six. These types of shows are great for. Even as an international fan, it makes you feel a part of the banter and stuff like that. So it's really awesome.
Thank you.
Love my brother.
Yeah. That means a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
That.
Call back soon,
Take care, man.
Yeah, cheers.
In a little bit. I know I shouldn't bite. I know I shouldn't because I know exactly what David Jordan's all about, but I'm going to anyway. And actually, because I think you might be able to back me up on this. He says, James, did you see Carragher's Monday Night Football segment on Arteta changing tactics for the Chelsea game? I'm confused because you told me he didn't change anything. He's got this wonderful sarkiness that I have to respect from Dave Jordan. Look, I know what you think. Jamie Carragher showed that he told Havertz to go up front and we played off that second ball. I never said Arteta didn't change anything. He quite clearly made a lot of changes, and then on Tactical Insight, Graham broke down those changes and spoke about how Havertz gave us the opportunity to go long. So actually we covered all that in Tactical Insight. What I was saying that while he made the changes, I don't actually think they made any difference to our momentum or our control of the game. Even in those last 20 minutes where everyone said we improved, kinda. But not really. Like, I actually didn't think there was any part of that Chelsea game where I thought we looked good. I just think Chelsea kind of shit the bed a little bit after that Sanchez era, and so we looked a little bit more in it. At no point did I think we got control and looked even half what we did tonight when we were, for most of that game. So, yes, he made changes, and yes, obviously Trossard scored who he brought on. Yes, Havertz won a few duels. How many of those duels like directly led to something? Just because we won the second ball doesn't mean it was some masterclass in tactical tweaking. Arteta did start to go long, and yet true, that gave us another avenue and asked Chelsea questions. I didn't feel like at any point we got control of that game against Chelsea. That was my main point. I don't know how you feel on that, or maybe you don't care, which is fair.
I've tried to forget about that game.
Fair enough.
If I'm honest with you.
Fair enough.
I mean, we grabbed the point. What's there for me to remember apart from Declan Rice's finish? I mean, yeah. Nice.
You know why I'm pedantic about these things, because like I don't want to just be one of those. I always refer back to this Everton game. We won 4-0 last year when I was warning everyone, but we looked really bad defensively, even though we got a clean sheet, and then we ended up conceding a whole heap of goals in the months after that. I don't ever want to just judge a game by, oh, this happened and we got this result, therefore that was good. If you know what I mean. Like I always think there's context to everything. Of course there's more
context than that, yeah.
But, ultimately, like I've been saying, on Forever Arsenal in particular, I went to war with Lee over it. I'm feeling very positive about the results, even though we're not at our best. And I think we should take a lot of heart from what Arsenal are doing this season. Though we can go up levels. So well done, Arsenal. Good win today. Thank you, everyone, for calling. Turkish, love my guy. I'll see you tomorrow on Forever Arsenal. There will be a tactical insight tomorrow. There will be Forever Arsenal as well, but that will be in the evening or maybe out Thursday morning. We'll let you know. And plenty of other content. Of course, we're looking ahead to Sheffield United on the weekend. All right. Big thanks everyone for joining. Really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the show. Subscribe to AFTV so you get all the updates on when the content's coming out. We'll see you on the weekend.